Hello, Apollo 11 Houston. We recommend you accept the now 49. Continue through your sequence of sightings, and then we'll analyze the data afterwards. Over. You're okay.
You can't call people dongle, but you can call people goober.
You can call someone a dongle.
I could absolutely call somebody a dongle.
Dongle and goober interchangeable.
I don't
How
think
are they
they
interchangeable?
are. Yeah.
All right, you guys have all seen Into the Spider-Verse, right?
Absolutely.
No.
Yeah, and you know the USB drive was called a goober. That's what they called it. So
Oh.
yeah.
All right. Well, that went over my head.
They didn't call it a widget?
God damn, you call yourself my friend? What the fuck?
Yeah, that's what I'm here for.
Shut up, you
disappoint
fucking
you.
dongle.
And DreadPirate's camera freezes. Roll the intro.
Well, that didn't last long.
And on that bombshell, hello, and welcome back to the Depths of Jigoku Podcast, where friends talk about whatever they want to. This week on camera, we are joined by Kain. If the camera decides to work and not freeze, DreadPirate.
What up, guys?
Oh, he is alive.
God.
Yeah. KickenBeans. Scorch.
My God, that was the fucking worst. Thanks.
And me.
Somebody
I'm
having
Bipoe.
flashbacks from WoW.
Just right in your ear holes.
Oh,
You gotta deep throat the
I
mic.
never attacked you once.
No. If you're trying to do the Murloc, you really got to get the Murloc going.
You got to get the
Way too close. That was so distorted.
So
My
yeah,
bad.
I would ask how it's going, guys, but like,
Gotta get all
Yeah.
the slobber off my mic.
Good thing yours has a little filter on it.
It doesn't. It's just metal.
Oh.
Took the pop
Yeah.
filter off.
No, he doesn't have a pop filter in that. It's just straight. He's just talking straight into it.
He's raw dog the mic. I love it.
What is happening?
I don't know.
Well,
what's
you
happening.
guys couldn't hear it, but I clicked on a site. It popped up in the recording. There's just like a random loud as fuck commercial in the background.
oh, you're good. I had to fix my recording settings because something happened between start recording and not, and everybody was in the red on me for me. It's like,
Nice.
oh no,
Nice.
I didn't touch anything.
Thank you, OBS.
Yeah, thanks OBS.
All
Please
right.
sponsor us. We need.
By the way,
sponsors.
OBS, if you'd like to sponsor us.
Does
quit
OBS
complaining about
sponsor
your
people?
shit.
Yeah.
I don't know if OBS sponsors people, honestly, but if they
Uh,
do,
you know that
I know a
they-
podcast that they can definitely.
They
sponsor.
probably do for like Streamlabs, like the Streamlabs OBS version that they promoted for Twitch for a long time.
So
Yeah, I do remember seeing that.
if you Google OBS sponsor, the top 3 searches are contribute to OBS.
Nice.
So the answer is probably not. Well, yeah, because it's a free recording and broadcasting. So I get it.
Actually, the Streamlabs version I think is paid, like subscription paid.
We don't
But it
use
gives.
Streamlabs.
No, I know we don't, but I'm saying like the Streamlabs version is, and I think it gives you access to like some of their tools to like make your stream transitions cooler or whatever. You know, like the borders and the fades and stuff like that.
Yeah.
At least that's what it was for me when I streamed like 6 years ago. Who knows what it is now
In the dark ages. I get it.
in the dark ages of streaming as Scorch
So I
TV.
get. Yeah, so I guess DreadPirate's camera is not coming back on.
They only sponsor musicians, which is not something I thought to use OBS for.
Yeah, that makes sense actually.
It might solve a problem I've been running into with Bandcamp and what's this other one I'm trying? Cakewalk.
Dude, Bandcamp is a great like entry point, but Bandcamp does not get you very far.
I'm just trying to set up so we can quit using that copyright-free music in the beginning. I'm trying to get like instruments set up so I can drag you guys over and we can do a dumb intro.
Isn't there one like I don't know if I know Tutti Frutti is like a candy flavor, but there's something, isn't there?
Tutti Frutti.
Like I there's something fruit or something that I'm remembering that is what some people use to record music with, and I might be hella wrong with the.
Bro,
the
you trying to
Tutti
talk
Frutti.
about? Are you trying to talk about Fruity Loops, like the
That one,
DJ
thank you.
program?
Yeah,
That-
that's the only,
Completely different thing.
That is
Yeah.
totally separate.
it's totally separate. I'm like, oh, it's fruit something. And it's
Tutti
either
Frutti?
like it's something like
That was
that.
glorious.
What do we do? Will you talk about like zebra stripe gum now? Because I don't even know if that still exists.
Oh, it exists.
Does it?
You can find it at your local Big Lots. Is closing down.
Bro,
Good
it's
Lord.
actually the one by me already closed.
Are they
It's actually really
closing?
funny.
Are
'cause
they closing the sporting goods side?
like the whole freaking
Are
store?
you
is
talking about
closed.
Are you talking about Big Five?
Yeah, Big Five.
Yeah, no,
Those
that's
are two
definitely
separate
Big Lots.
entities.
There we go.
Big Lots owns them.
What? I
Yeah.
was looking that up a
Also,
long time ago.
why would you want zebra stripe gum? It is literally granted, it is one of the most delicious gums on the face of the planet.
Yeah,
for
for 3
15
chews.
for 15 seconds at a time.
Seconds. And you can thank me for that because I remember being at the mall when they were like, "Here, try this new gum." Yeah, I'm that old.
What was it, zebra stripe? I remember trading a pack of zebra stripe gum for a fucking Freddy Krueger doll when I was a kid.
Do y'all remember Juicy Fruit?
Yeah, Juicy Fruit
That's still
exists, bro.
around. Yeah.
Is that still around?
Yeah.
I thought that would die out. It's a
Wrigley's
very
ain't going away, bro.
Yeah,
I'm
but
pretty sure that I have a
Juicy
pack
Fruit-
of Juicy Fruit gum from like a year ago that I haven't opened yet. It's just sitting in my truck.
It's all hard.
the flavor's all gone. So
No, it's like
No, the
it's like
flavor
chick-
doesn't go away.
It's like the chiclets version, so they're probably like
Oh.
rocks now.
So they're super hard.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say they haven't owned. I had a correction. Big Lots hasn't owned Big Five since 1992.
Oh my god.
my
Nice.
dude.
Hey,
Well
most of
played,
us
sir,
were
well
alive
played.
in 1992.
Most.
I was 3.
Yeah, but in
Be rude.
1992, I had never heard of a fucking Big Five or Big Lots or any of that shit.
I never heard of a Big Five till I moved out to the state I'm currently in, and they do look oddly similar. So I had looked this up years ago. That's why I was confused for a moment.
I don't even know what a Big Five is.
It's
You need to go
clearly-
touch
it's
grass.
Big Lots.
Yeah, you need to go touch grass.
I don't think the
And
state I
going to
lived
the
in had-
and
the
going to the
place I lived
gaming
in had
shop
Big
does not
Five.
count as touching grass. That is just moving your space.
No, I don't think where I lived previously had Big Five.
No,
No,
they
it
did not.
They had Big
Yeah, so-
Lots.
So screw you guys. I don't have to touch grass to find Big Five. So I should go move to a place that has them.
Pirate.
You're in a place.
Let's be fair, Pirate. He probably touched grass briefly while going to the game shop.
I
That
go-
still doesn't change the fact that it doesn't count.
I don't think there's a grass at either of the game shops he goes to. I have to
Uh,
bring him there. They don't let computers drive on the highways.
No,
I thought he's a
there's some.
self-driving car now.
No, you can't trust those. As one, you can't trust.
Last person that used self-driving shot himself and then blew up a Tesla truck. Just saying.
Way to go dark, bro. Way to go dark.
Yeah. I mean, hey, that's the world we live in.
Hey man,
I mean,
I
in fairness, who doesn't want to? I would love to blow up a Cybertruck. It just seems like a fun experience.
While you're in it,
I'm-
though.
I'm
No,
glad
not while I'm
you
in
went
it.
that route.
All right, so
I'm glad you
let's-
went that route.
I don't
Let's
think
share
I
this
ever
up
want
a
to
little
be
bit
in
real
one.
quick. Let's share this up a little bit. Have you guys seen the YouTube channel Whistling Diesel?
Is that the dude who?
Yeah, I
attacks the
can't stand
Cybertruck
that
with
guy.
everything?
I
Is
can't
that like
stand that guy.
Dunkmaster Darius?
Kane, I can understand why you say you can't stand that guy because it's definitely a different kind of personality, and I'm sure it's very reminiscent of the annoying stuff that you had in your past career. But
No, my issue with him is having met him briefly, he is a chill dude. I would not mind hanging out with him. He seems like a
yeah.
really cool guy, but his videos are centered around that like very fast-paced, keep your attention mindset of the modern day, which works for him. I'm happy he figured it out. but it's just not my type of media.
Yeah, no, I get that.
That's how you. That's really what you need to be successful, though. These days, these kids only have like a 30-second fucking attention span.
He has a video that he's comparing a Cybertruck and a modern F-150, and he blows the fuck up out of a Cybertruck.
He's the one that just tears compares like how destructible all its individual components is, right?
Not necessarily how destructible each component is. Like he's starts the video off legitimately comparing him to see like which truck can out-truck the truck. And then just in the process ends up destroying him, and then ends up attaching, as a civilian who doesn't really know the technical terms for bombs too much, he ends up attaching a bomb to both the Cybertruck door and the F-150 door, and it is impressive how resistant the Cybertruck was to it, but it is still a good video nonetheless.
Check it out.
I mean, from what I've heard, certain parts of it, like the body is solid, but individual components for that thing break very easily.
Oh yeah, no, the truck is garbage.
The truck is fucking garbage.
As somebody who works on fucking things.
Also, no color looks good on it. I keep seeing colors not like flat silver, and they just consistently look worse.
Yeah, all you're seeing is just wrapped vehicles.
Oh, I know what I'm seeing, and they look terrible.
So
the best one of that I've seen though is the Halo Warthog skin they put on it. That was actually pretty cool looking.
That's Brandon Herrera. Shout out for ATF Director 2025.
That is the only one I've seen look good, and it still looked bad, but it looked better bad.
Did we talk about the Cybertrucks in Winter Worlds?
Oh, how does it do in Winter Worlds?
Not great, apparently. Not great at fucking all. So, the position of the light bar on the front of the Cybertruck is actually right above its bumper, and it's inset.
Does it blind you?
No, it's inset to the front of the actual truck, right? Like 4 or 5 centimeters or whatever. But that means if you're driving and it's snowing and it sticks to your car, guess what? You no longer have headlights.
Oh my god.
I have heard about this. That is fucking hilarious.
So dude, that.
I had a dude with like 4 teeth the other day tell me that the Cybertruck is if DeLorean didn't do coke. Yeah, that one sit. I kind of agree.
No, I'll argue that.
I do have to sit on that one a little bit.
I saw a slightly better one.
Okay.
In my opinion. It's a Cybertruck is what happens when you let GMC Aztec and a DeLorean make a baby.
Nah, man, I wouldn't put DeLorean in that same gene pool.
But just think about it. Do you remember what an Aztec looked like?
Yeah, unfortunately,
a bubblier version of what a Cybertruck looks like.
Dude, the
body shape is similar. Everything else looks hideous. I hated Aztecs. They were hideous, and I hated working on them.
The OG Aztec was really cool. They didn't come out in production. They ended up value engineering the fuck out of it. But the concept for the Aztec was sick. So basically, what we got as the Aztec, essentially the same body, slightly different headlights, but twin turbo V6 all-wheel drive designed for rally racing.
See, that would be really cool if they made it look better.
No, I think they were going for the ugly. This was like during the desert rallies of the past, so I think they were going for the boxy look with it.
The ugly truck phase.
Yeah. Prove I'm human.
In fairness, that was like around when those came out was kind of the era of the ugly mid-size vehicles, because you also had the PT Cruiser, the HHR, the new Hummers all came out around the same time, like the H2 or 3s.
Dude, the HHR is a terrifying vehicle to drive.
That has more blind spots than any vehicle I've ever driven.
every single one I've ever gotten as a rental felt like it was going to roll over when I took turns, no matter
They
the
were-
speed.
They
Like a
were
Chevy
very
Blazer?
prone to rolling over.
Like a 90s Chevy Blazer?
It felt like I was in a Samurai. Like
Ooh.
the body
Hey.
roll, it would actually
Hey.
like it felt like the lift, the wheel was coming off the ground when you took turns. It just, oh, I hated that thing. It's the only rental car I've returned and been like, give me a different fucking thing. I don't.
And that's
I
I
ended
love driving a Samurai for that reason, though, because like you know
so
it's
much
coming.
fun to drive.
I expect it in a Samurai. I'm not working when I have a Samurai. Like I had places to be and meetings to go to.
Nice.
So much fun to drive.
Well, I want to tangent the Cybertruck conversation to some news I heard about Musk recently, but I'm going to hold off on that because apparently he is heavily monitoring social media against him. So
What's he gonna do? Take away
no.
our payments that we receive?
I see
You
a
gotta-
Freya.
you've got a ghost in your backdrop.
Should be fine.
What a fucking loser, man. He buys a platform so everybody could have free speech until it's his turn to get fucking dogged on.
It's free speech for everybody until he doesn't like it.
What a bitch.
That
Yeah.
man's tism is off the charts.
All right, fine. Since we're going down this route anyway,
None of us are huge fans of his, bro.
did you guys hear about the live stream he did with Path of Exile 2 and his level 97 or whatever hardcore character?
saw
So
some-
I
I saw
briefly
what you
saw something
posted.
about this where like he's just fucking clicking away, not really knowing what he's doing or something like that.
Yeah. So I watched a reel earlier. It was actually pretty hilarious. It was basically like the guy was ragging on him, being like, how do you say that you have a hardcore character, which is hard enough to do in the first place, and you're doing maps and you don't know how to activate the maps, you don't know how to work with your inventory, you are slow dropping, like clicking things off the ground and putting them in your inventory, and they're not even good things. How do you do that, right? Like performance anxiety? I don't know, bro. I don't know. I feel like
He
somebody
has the ideas and then hires an intelligent team around him. And I'm not doubting his intelligence himself, but he has the intelligence to come up with these phenomenal ideas and then hires people to execute these things.
And I mean that's great, but don't live stream yourself trying to pretend you know what the fuck you're doing.
It's so he can
Also,
stay hip, man.
He is a hyper intelligent human being. He's just weird. And it's not like, yeah, he hires the correct engineers to do the things that he wants, but so did Jobs, and no one would say Jobs wasn't hyper intelligent. While I
Say
don't
that he wasn't.
while I don't like him as a person, the things he's doing with his companies outside of Tesla are actually pretty cool. Like SpaceX is a dope fucking company. They're running
Yeah, but at the
circles
same-
around NASA.
Yeah, but at the same time, SpaceX was designed for the super rich and potentially famous to get rides in space. Like
Yeah, that was before
that's
he
what it was
bought it.
designed for. That's when he bought it.
Yeah, that's what I'm
like-
saying. Like once he bought it and found out he can get that government cheese, he changed up what he was doing, which is the smart thing to do. You get
Yeah,
the government
I
to
mean,
pay for all your research, fucking do it.
So what's
and
he
good for
actually
him.
doing now with SpaceX?
That's what also paid for every other thing that he started.
What were you saying?
I don't know, man. I just feel like there's some parts of me that thinks that he's a smart human being, but I have yet to see something to the contrary where he's come up with an original idea himself, right? And then it almost feels like he's doing pay to win. You know what I mean? Like he's just buying things that seem cool and that turn out to be cool. And sometimes, right? I don't know.
100%. Like the reason I think he's an intelligent human being is he can get the right people to do what he wants done. But the hyper intelligent generally don't have creativity. So I think when he sees something cool and he thinks he can do it better, he does. Or he pays people to do it better.
Fair, but I can also say roll charisma on that one, bro.
Yeah, he has no riz. He is definitely not fire.
Yeah, he doesn't peg me as an incredibly social person.
And his pullout game is so weak.
Bro,
Ah.
don't you have a bunch of kids?
He's got double-digit kids, and like
Seriously?
one of them likes him, and that's because he's 3.
Yeah,
Okay.
I could be wrong. I think he's got kids with 5 different women.
Up there
Yeah.
with Tyreek Hill.
That's what I was about to actually ask, because I remember there being news about like him naming his kid like some kind of code value or some bullshit like that a couple years
That's
ago.
true.
I think that was the most recent one.
That's what I was going to ask though, because I thought that was like his first kid or something.
No, that was his 12th kid.
Yes.
Because
Baseball team?
he has a dozen.
I mean, he had a life before he found his hairline again.
Yeah, it was called PayPal.
Didn't he create PayPal? Wasn't that his?
He
Yeah.
coded PayPal. He didn't create PayPal.
Coded.
Yeah.
I mean, how is that not essentially creating it?
He didn't come up with the
No.
idea, like Scorch was saying. He didn't come up with the idea. He just was the tool that made the idea possible.
Yeah.
And now he's just a tool.
I'm a software developer, and I'm not writing in pieces of code that are, strictly my intellectual property. So, I work for a company that I write stuff for. So it was probably the same idea for him when he did PayPal. Like they had the concept and idea. Here's your project. Make this work.
God, PayPal used to be so good.
Dude,
Still good. Like there's nothing wrong with PayPal. It still does.
PayPal is still my preferred like online friend exchange platform.
yeah,
Yeah,
it does
I
that well.
don't- Man, I don't trust Cash App and Venmo and like the others. Like they seem shady as fuck when you first sign up on them.
And not only that, the only one like Venmo, I kind of trust simply because I do it through my bank.
I mean, you should do all of them that way. And I agree.
But not all of them are attached to your bank. Venmo is attached to my bank. Like it is a separate tab you can choose on the app and on the website.
So like PayPal.
Yeah,
So like PayPal,
yeah.
where you can choose a credit card or you can choose your bank account.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
I would
like,
say PayPal and Venmo are the only 2 that I will entertain. Cash App, shit. What was some of the other ones?
Cash
However,
apps for drug dealers and prostitutes. Prove me
that's
wrong.
why.
And
That's what
apparently my old landlord, because that's how he wanted me to pay rent, which terrified me because he's also a lawyer.
he. So
Dude, when I first moved into that house, like the dude was super, super cool. Like no hate on the guy. I had a wonderful experience renting from him. But when I first got into that house and he told me to pay through Cash App, and I was like, I am gonna watch everything and document everything for the next 3 months to make sure you don't come after me for
Was that
missing.
the funky place with the weird ceilings?
That's the one that had a basement or a garage that was the entire foundation of the house.
Yeah, the
I was
funky
gonna
place
say,
with the weird ceilings.
wasn't the garage separate too?
No, it was in
No.
the same hangout space.
Yeah,
So like
Oh.
the house I used to live in had the garage. The entire garage was the foundation of the unit of the property.
Uh-huh.
And then you go through the door to get into the house, and it's just a staircase that goes to the second level, which is the floor above the garage. And that's where the house pretty much started.
Oh, okay. I've been to a couple of places like that, or yeah, a couple places like that up there.
I miss that garage. That was such a fucking epic space.
It was
It
it was on the side of a mountain, but I loved that setup for a house where you kind of like go down into your garage. You close the garage and you go inside. There's this like space area like right there, and then you go upstairs for the entire rest of the house and backyard and everything.
Yep.
And bro,
I thought
the view,
that's one of my favorite styles up there for
the view
housing.
from that kitchen. The view from that kitchen was epic.
Oh yeah, it's shit now because they built a neighborhood on the top of that mountain.
Bam.
nice. All right, let's get into
Capitalism, bro.
some things. Oh no, never mind. I pulled up all of Elon Musk's kids' names, so they don't start off bad. We got Nevada, Vivian, and Griffin.
Okay.
Yeah. Kai, Saxon, Damien, which is a little odd.
Is that the whole name? Kai, Sax, and Damien?
No, these are different kids.
Oh, okay,
Okay.
just checking.
So there's a kid with the first name Saxon.
Yeah.
All right, interesting.
And
I
then
don't
we
hate it. That's different.
then we get into XAX12.
There it is.
And then Exa Dark Sidriel is one. That's a single name.
So this is now when he has money.
Then we got
He's always-
Strider and Azure. Oh, this poor girl is screwed when she gets old enough for Burning Man. Techno Mechanus.
What?
Single name.
Really?
Techno Mechanus?
Techno Mechanus.
Oh my god.
Sorry, Techno Mechanicus. My bad. I forgot a C. This poor girl. And then Unknown Child Musk, full name.
No way.
What?
No way.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah. Shit got off the rails.
Bro is living in 2077.
He wishes he was. All right, let's get into some things to talk about. Do we want to do Indiana Jones?
Yeah, let's start off on two light topics. So with all the information of hardware stuff that came out through CES, Indiana Jones is going to be the first video game that the minimum requirements require ray tracing.
You know it's out, right?
Point
And,
blank. Or
and not-
it came out. But
Okay.
yeah.
and not just any ray tracing, specifically NVIDIA's ray tracing.
Right. So the minimum that it will run with is a 2060, and it's not great. But it can run. But if you have anything outside of NVIDIA's ray tracing and you try and run that game, it literally gives you an error box that says hardware not compatible, cannot run, and then like click here for diag or some bullshit like that.
So the developers basically threw in a get good error.
Yeah.
On that, some other developers that aren't associated with that game have already cracked it, and it runs great on a 1080, and it runs great on the Steam Deck. Huge fan. It is
That
it
part I
is
did not
a single line of code you have to get rid of that checks for ray tracing. Other than that, everything works. All it
Well,
does is check which graphics card you have.
Fair enough.
Well, good. I was going to pose the question to you guys, like because I didn't know about all that. So being that a single line of code made the difference is really cool to hear, because now it's available across all fucking hardware platforms. But what do you guys think about the direction of where the industry is going as far as developing? Because they're always going to make these games with with whatever the highest end hardware that's out, but they're going to design around what the most common is. So let's say consoles. So PlayStation 5, Xbox, whatever those are coming out with is typically what they're going to like find the best center line for. But
So
if we've already got one game that's a AAA title that's got a pretty good following, and that's where they're trying to draw the line in the sand to start moving forward, this will be interesting.
What
I
does it
don't-
mean for the future of gaming? Honestly, AAAs are going to be garbage. Like
Mhm.
I hate to say it that way, because I appreciate the AAA games for the level of like professionalism and experience they bring, right? But they're following a pattern now. They're forcing AAA games instead of letting them happen, right? So like I'm excited for Witcher 4 because I know the studio is going to do the right thing, but that's because I trust the studio to do the right thing. You know what I mean? So like that's a AAA title that I'm actually anxious for. Monster Hunter Wilds, right? Like I'm excited for that, but also because I know that Capcom's not gonna fuck with the algorithm, right? Like, you know, I've already done the beta, at least the first round of it, and it's good. Like, you know, I'm excited for it.
I'm excited to try this. beta.
Capcom hasn't fucked with the Monster Hunter sauce recipe in like 20 years.
That's
Just
what I'm saying.
update the graphics, write a new story, and move on with their lives.
But you know what?
Make,
It's still
Monster
become
Hunter
more
barely
accessible.
changed the pot out. The same pot for the past 15, 20 years.
Mhm.
Hey, look, no, they've
Throw
changed
more
cooking.
shit in there.
They've changed cooking, right? Like cooking's a little different each. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
animation.
It's graphically better because it's new age.
I don't know. Like,
Um,
I personally, I feel like AAA titles are now starting to target the return on investment that they get instead of creating a unique original game. Right? There, a lot of them are just following the blueprint, and it's not going to be great going forward. Indie games, however, are fucking killing it right now. And I mean,
Oh
like,
yeah.
like look at Path of Exile 2, for instance. Like that is not. I mean, it is now technically a AAA title version of a game, but it was never meant to be, right? Like it just has such a big following that it has become AAA. So
Is that do you think, so this is a bit of a segue, do you think if a video game has enough of a following that, for like PoE 2 is good graphically, as far as the stylized of its game is good, but to me personally, I never thought of it as a AAA title game. Do you think because it has enough popularity and it has enough success in that aspect that it can be titled a AAA?
I don't think it's because of the popularity and the player base, right? I think it's the work that the devs themselves are putting into continuation of the story that they want to sell, and the fact that they continue to support the game long after, and that's partially because it has such a big following, right? So like true AAA games aren't just one and dones anymore. Like the true AAAs are now going to be the games that are supported for long term, have a great following, and the developers actually care about the product.
Yeah.
That's my new opinion of AAA. So like all these AAA games that are coming out, or quadruple A games like fucking Skull and Bones, baby.
How did Yakuza do Skull and Bones better than Skull and Bones?
No shit.
I
I actually want.
I want to play that game so
I
bad.
want that one. Right,
I want
just
that one.
I watched a 5-minute video on the fucking pirate aspect of Yakuza like a pirate, and I fucking want the game. Like,
Well, too
My
bad you can't
res-
buy games.
I'm not
My
buying any games this year. I'll get it next year.
My
Fuck it.
response to Kane sending me the video was, I never knew I needed a Skull and Bones and Dynasty Warriors crossover until today.
Okay, so I have not seen this video, but I want to say, Pirate,
Wow.
you just sold me on it with that crossover.
It looks like Black
Dude.
Flag 2. It is so
there
good.
is so much shit in the Yakuza games that I can't even call it a single crossover. Like, for instance, what they did with Like a Dragon, right? Like that was like GTA mixed with Pokemon, mixed with like Street Fighter, mixed with like
and you could legitimately play Sega licensed games on arcades in the game. Like that was a whole nother part of it too.
Yeah,
because
like,
it's a Sega product and it's always gonna be a Sega product. So like in the Yakuza one I played, I think 0 or whatever, you could walk into an arcade and just play some old fucking Sega Genesis game.
That's so
Yeah.
funny.
Now the thing about the Yakuza games though is that they weren't always like that, right? Like they started out as straight up like street brawlers, running like you're running around the cities or whatever, and beating the crap out of other Yakuza members.
Mm-hmm.
But then they did I think it was before Like a Dragon, they did one other one that was sort of like an RPG, and it took off. And now they've got the right formula to make their game successful.
And you know what? They took a good formula and are just making it better.
Yeah.
They saw what got them like popular, and I played one of the more fun style of games. Half the game is just all these different side quests and like mini games you play.
It's a quintessential JRPG.
Yeah, exactly. But all of them are also different. It's fun.
Fair enough. I've never played any of them, so I'll have to take y'all's word on that.
We
Worth
have
it.
a mutual friend back in our previous hometown, and he is all about those fucking games. So if you really want to chat to somebody about how good they are and what you can do in them, I'll send you his way.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, over the years, I've definitely heard really good things about those games. It's never crossed my personal radar to like want to jump into it. I've always had other titles that have kind of just kept me busy.
It was a random Game Pass pickup, and I actually had fun with it.
That's how I got into it. I ended up buying them all on Steam. It's in my backlog already.
And actually,
I never gave into Game Pass, so that'd be the
Fair
common
enough.
denominator there.
fair enough.
If you got
So-
the extra like $16 a month, Game Pass is great.
and
No,
the time,
I don't doubt that.
time.
I've given into this argument every time it's come up.
Yeah,
I don't have the time.
Time
to
is something
justify
we're all
Game Pass.
lacking.
Because I know myself. I'm gonna fucking download 15 games, start them all, and get like an hour into each one, and be like, "All right, that was cool."
Yeah, and then you never play again until they expire from Game Pass, and you're like, "Oh, leaving? Damn it!"
And try and fucking grind a full game in 2 days.
Oh, I
Look,
miss the
I-
good old days.
If you got the time off,
So
don't.
there's a game. There's another game coming out. I'm really excited about. I don't know if any of you will be excited about this, but this was a big part of my growing up, and I loved this series. They're coming out with a new Dynasty Warriors.
Oh yeah, dude, they come out with a
Oh.
new one like every 2 years.
So I grew up playing the fuck out of those games. Absolutely thoroughly enjoyed the shit out of them. I've not played one in almost probably a decade at this point.
I've
Well, you
read
know.
a couple articles about it, and it says it's supposed to be like a new play on Dynasty Warriors, but like an improvement from everything of the past.
we'll see.
Yeah,
Oh my god. I just looked up how many Dynasty Warriors games there are.
On Wikipedia,
And-
it's 3 pages long.
Yeah. It is. It is a full screen on my Google search.
Nice.
And including the Samurai Warriors ones, where there's a bunch of those now too.
That's so funny.
I mean,
Now,
2025, 2 in 2022, 2020, 18, 17, 17, 17, 16, 16, 16, 14, 14, 13, 13, 13, 13, 12, 11, 11, 10, 10, 9, 9, 9, 8, 8, 8, 8, 7, 7, 7, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6,
And with
5, 5, 5, 4, 4, all the way back to 97.
But a lot of them were fucking fun.
This
I had
doesn't
a
include. This doesn't include the Gundam ones.
All right,
What's
so
wrong
Gundam was
with
fucking
those?
slap.
Those were fucking fun.
Yeah. All right, so back to the ray tracing thing. I'm for it because modern consoles have it. I think once we figure it out a little bit better, it is a better lighting system than standard rasterization and shading.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
I
And
just
also-
don't think old school computer gamers are there yet.
No, and old school computer gamers won't be there. That's the other side of it too. Is, I mean, I think to your comment there, it's going to be the direction that we move forward. I mean, the ray tracing technology has already been out since what, 2016 as far as hardware, but even longer before that because movies and CGI were already using it back then. But on the hardware side of things, if developers start using ray tracing primarily, it's going to ease up on the hardware space because it's going to physically take less on all the chipsets now.
Yeah,
Explain that, because ray tracing is programmatic. Like, you have to have
is.
the hardware to support it, right? So
But the software that ray tracing works off of is separate from the hardware that's in GPUs for the, I'm going to butcher this word. It's the word that Kain said just a moment ago.
rasterization.
That one.
Yeah.
So
Currently, ray tracing is easier to accomplish than rasterization with our
and
current hardware.
rasterization is done by a physical piece on the chipset in the hardware. And if they can get the lighting components for ray tracing built into the software that doesn't utilize the rasterization, then that can be removed from the chipsets.
The shading
that
portion.
Yeah.
fair. So that also brings the question, like, what's going on with the current GPU market, right? Like, Nvidia's new stuff is primarily AI driven,
Yeah.
and rendering.
Absolutely. And that brings its own conversation too with the new 50 series. Like, we've already started seeing now if you take off all the software for all the DLSS 4, the hardware advancement alone doesn't justify the jump from a 40 to a 50 series.
Kind of.
The example that they were giving was like Cyberpunk. If you take a 4090 in Cyberpunk with all the settings maxed out, you're getting roughly,
I actually have it in front of me.
I think it was like 72 FPS on average on a
17.
4090. Oh, okay, 17 with everything fucking maxed out on a 4090. On a 5090, everything fucking maxed out without DLSS 4, without any of the software, you were only getting like 40 some odd frames FPS. So, I mean, 40 to 17 is a big jump on the fucking Mac Daddy dick slapping settings.
Mhm.
And then as soon as you turn on the software, you immediately jump up to like 280 FPS.
Right.
So-
but the game also has to support DLSS 4, which is the multi-threaded, essentially multi-threaded frame replacement for AI generation, frame
Yep.
generation.
So
And developers are starting to include that software in it, though.
But what happens when games are only produced with that kind of technology expected? And, we've already seen the market price for GPUs jump like crazy. Granted, NVIDIA came out with some decent prices for their FEs, but the third parties are going to upcharge that by 25% at least.
Oh, hands down.
At least, right? So,
But see, that's
when
where
does it become good?
That's where I bring up the question of like, okay, if we start going into ray tracing where we no longer need those rasterization chips in the hardware, that's now an additional piece that no longer has to be R&D'd into the physical product. So that ideally reduces weight, reduces size, reduces thermals, and reduces cost.
So, hold on. Rasterization still needs to happen because that's how you get your pixels. It's taking the shading load off of the rasterization. It's not taking the full load. It's taking maybe 10% off. But that 10% gives you 10 more percent to work on pixels and polygons.
Okay.
What ray tracing is doing is it's taking that extra load off of it and putting it on a different set of cores, which is just ray tracing cores. And it's a separate subsection of the GPU that is designed around just doing lighting, which is actually something we've been begging for decades.
Yeah.
Because bulldozing graphics in a modern era isn't going to do it.
Yeah.
But
And also we know about, waiting for our shaders to load.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's the jump from 40 to 50 series. I'm waiting on the reviews, but seriously considering a Founders Edition 5080, hardware wise, it is a huge jump. It just they didn't focus on it, which was their dumb. Just hardware across the board with something that doesn't do ray tracing or DLSS, from what I've seen, you're still looking at a 40% jump versus a 4080 to 5080.
Yeah, and I can agree. I can see that as well. And I'm really curious. A little bit of a segue. I'm curious to the point of what you were saying of kind of they're dumb for not actually talking more on the hardware because all they focus on was software.
Yeah.
I saw an article earlier today that was talking about AMD kind of how they fumbled their presentation at CES, how they didn't really talk or release any information. From what I was seeing online and the couple articles I was glancing through, it seems like AMD came out with information to drop, with news to deliver. And then after NVIDIA gave their big spiel at the event, they held back. And I mean, it's not the first time I've seen AMD do this. So I'm really curious to see what their products are going to come out as far as fighting for that mid-tier section. Downside is the FE cards are fucking epic. Like if you can get your hands on an FE card for the 50 series, I think bang for buck, it's going to be fucking worth it.
Yeah.
But I'm really curious
Well,
what AMD is going to release, and I'm gonna fucking miss that FE time slot.
No, you're not.
No, they
So considering that you're probably one of the 2 of us in this group at the moment who's in the market for the card, maybe 3, who actually needs a card. Looking
yeah,
at you, Kain.
I don't need a card. I want a card, and I have adult money. God damn it!
You know, I'm excited for you, Beans, to like get that, and same for you,
Yeah.
Byron, if that works out. Would I go for a 50 series? Probably, because that's probably going to be the best bang for buck that you'll have that'll last you the next, maybe 4 years until they come out with the the 10,000 series. I don't even know where they're going to go after that.
The only thing that kind of gives me pause and kind of going back to the video game is that game came out with the focus of NVIDIA's ray tracing technology with their software. So if AMD doesn't come out with something comparable or come out with some sort of software that can speak on that coded language right out of the gate, there's going to be a split. I think there's going to be a split in the kind of like Xbox and PlayStation as we move forward in the PC hardware world.
So Scorch might be the only other one that remembers this, him being an old hat. Back in the day, it was already like that. Like, you had to choose if you were going to do an AMD card, it limited what games you could play. If you were going to do an NVIDIA card, it limited what games you were going to play.
Oh, interesting.
I
Yeah,
remember buying an old ATI card just to play Half-Life 2.
Yep. So kind of like how we have the console exclusive wars happening right now, it was kind of like that with GPUs. There were games that specifically played better with a certain type of GPU, whether it was AMD or NVIDIA or, God, I think there was maybe one other in the market at that time, but not really memorable. But yeah.
Didn't Intel have their own subset of cards way back in the day?
They did, but
back then too.
they were not gaming. They were not meant for gaming. No chance in hell were they meant for gaming.
Yeah, I remember upgrading my graphics card just so I could play WoW. And while it was a needed upgrade, I had to, like, when WoW first came out, I had to select a card that could run WoW, not select the card I wanted.
Dude, yeah, exactly. And when WoW first came out, I think I had a Dell. Like, what's Dell's like top brand rig?
Alienware?
No, this is
like
before they
Dell.
bought Alienware.
Oh, gotcha.
Alienware was his own
Dell
company back then.
XPS. That's what their shit was. Like, that was their top line shit. I remember rocking it out on an old fucking
They're
Dell
business
XPS
class
tower.
machines.
Yeah. But the XPS was actually, at that point in time, depending on which one you got, a gaming machine. So
Okay.
it came with a GeForce card. I'm pretty sure it was like a GeForce 250.
That's so funny.
My, how far we've come.
Indeed.
Yeah,
They had, like,
that's what it was.
I mean-
is I had an R9 190 M190 from Radeon, and I shouldn't have needed to upgrade, and I ended up getting a GT 675.
Radeon was its own company back in the day too. It wasn't Radeon was separate from AMD, wasn't it?
Until they got bought, yeah.
Yeah. But ATI was separate from NVIDIA until they got bought, and Voodoo was separate from NVIDIA until they got bought.
Man, I remember. So back then, I was not big into PC gaming or anything, but I remember I remember Voodoo product line because I remember their fucking branding.
3DFX, my man, 3DFX. 3DFX was so good. Yeah.
I dropped an image in chat. I don't know if you guys remember this tower.
Holy shit! Yeah,
I would rock that tower today.
dude,
I
I remember
fucking-
oogling over this thing at the store back in the day.
I bought a server tower for an extra PC, and I am in love with this case. It has no glass, it has no ports, just 5 fans, full tilt. It's got a DVD tray.
Picture it didn't happen.
Oh, what is this thing called? It's Antec 2.
Antec? Like
Yeah.
Antec Lansing?
It is. It's not.
Mid-
It's not for like gaming. It is. Where did you go? Oh, I can just look at my old Amazon history. But I love it. It's got all the bays I need. It's got everything I could ever ask for in a case, and it's not fucking covered in glass. It's an Antec P101.
ANTEC.
I just went down a rabbit hole on Antec towers.
They make some cool modern towers, but also this thing's sick.
Okay, because the rabbit hole I freaking went down was showing me like server board inserts for Antec.
No, this thing comes with eight 5.25-inch ODD bays, 2 3.5-inch, 2.5-inch, like laptop bays, and a bay for either a DVD or a floppy, and you don't have to give up anything for it.
Nice.
I think I bought the last one because it's no longer available.
You said the P101?
Yeah, I dropped the link in chat.
Oh,
Alright.
the silent. Yeah, that's the one I'm looking at right now.
It's
Yeah.
a pretty sharp looking basic case. I mean,
Yeah.
I'll have to see what the internals look like because the Amazon pictures does not do it justice.
Oh, it was.
I'm on their actual website looking at it. This thing is a monster. It's got it's got 8 fucking hard disk drive bays.
Nice.
Yep.
God.
And if I didn't torch 3 hard drives, I would have them full.
You didn't
I'm
torch
s-
our backups, did you?
No, I have the backup on an SSD sitting right here in front of me. I put everything on a standard SSD, a 2.5. But yeah, no, I'm still mad about this. Freaking Corsair is the only power supply company that changes up the signal and the power wire on their SATA power connector on the power source side. So I fried $300 4 terabyte hard drives.
Damn.
Yeah.
What?
It just cooked them, dude. They don't even like turn on, spin, nothing. I'm currently in the RMA process to see if I can get them RMA'd.
Shit. Send an
Holy
email to
shit.
Corsair. Tell them you fucked up.
I sent a very nasty contact us email to Corsair where I ripped their engineers apart for creating something about as bad as that dog girl creature from Brotherhood.
Why?
Bro.
I was so bad before I told you about this, Scorch. I spent like 2 hours writing an email. I was so mad, and then I immediately bought a bunch of ATX Type 4 ATX power cables.
Dude, I'm coming out of the science to be like, ah, that was a shit problem, but like, damn, you compare them to him? That's a little.
He wants to cause emotional damage.
Yeah, I'm
That's
hoping.
causing a lot more than
Bro,
emotional.
I thought you were gonna say a Cybertruck or something, not freaking.
No, I'm
no,
hoping
this-
whoever reads it is a fan. That way they understand the severity of my issues with them.
Oh, you wrote it into the email.
I am so mad. I even in the email I wrote and I hand drew up a power schematic for computer power supplies and gave them a list of every other power supply company that follows the fucking standard and the 2 other Chinese brands, and then compared them to how shit of a brand they are because they follow the Chinese spec. They're no name. They didn't even have English translations for the Chinese brands. Like I ripped them, and I was so mad. And I wasn't mad about losing $300. I was mad that they had the balls to fucking switch a signal and a 12-volt cable. Because like basically, I ran 12-volt through a 3-volt line, and cooked the hard drive. And I spent probably 2 days diagnosing it, because when we first flipped it on, I was like, something smells like burning electronics, and turned it off, double checked everything, flipped it on, loaded the new OS, did a bunch of other shit, and then like wasn't getting any reading from those 3 hard drives. Brand new out of the box. I have the boxes, 4 terabyte hard drives, and was just like, this motherfucker. It took me 2 days to figure out the problem, and I was pissed. I had to go into engineering sample schematics of their power sources.
Dude, that's infuriating. Absolutely.
That is infuriating.
I was so mad. And then I wrote the nasty email, and I don't feel bad about it. I hope she cries. Or he. Or whatever gender they
They.
decide to be, yeah. I hope their
Let's be non-binary,
babies...
I guess.
I hope their babies are fat and frail.
So angry.
Fuck them. I'm never buying a Corsair power supply just based on this ever again.
All right, bro, we get it. You vape.
Yeah. I was so mad. And then once I sent the email, it felt great. That's when I decided to share my mistake.
Nice.
Oh my gosh.
Rough.
Yeah,
Fucking rough.
grumpy.
Did
But,
you feel better? Did you feel any better after the email?
Yeah, I felt great.
Yeah, he actually told me about it, which means that he felt better.
I didn't even tell Aaron what had happened till after I wrote the email. I was so mad because once I figured out the problem, it was like I was mad I couldn't figure out the problem, but that's a different kind of mad. As soon as I figured out the problem, I was like, they're getting a contact us email. And I wrote the email before I even thought to RMA the hard drives. Because
Nice.
before I was like, before the realization set in that I was like, oh shit, I just burned $300. I was writing this grumpy email. It was 2 pages because they don't have a character limit on their contact us.
That's fucking hysterical.
I bet they will now.
But to be fair, if they had a character limit, that probably would have made the situation so much worse.
Yeah, I would send them a link to a Google Doc.
Secure link even so that
Yeah.
they can open it.
Yeah. Yeah, I was mad, dude. And now I'm not mad about it. I'm considering, like, if these RMAs don't go through, I'm just going to go buy 3 new hard drives. But I'm hoping that Seagate and Western Digital can find it in their kind, amazing hearts to just fucking give me 3 new hard drives. Also, you can't RMA multiple things. You can only RMA single pieces.
Yeah, because you have to provide like serial numbers and all that shit, right?
Yeah, but what's an extra drop down to add a second thing? I shouldn't have to go through the entire RMA process again. I'm not mad. I was like, all right, this kind of makes sense. I get it.
I mean, let's be fair. They probably don't expect you to RMA more than one product at a time.
Dude, I've seen for server farms RMAing like 50 hard drives at a time. Could you think clicking through? I had to do 3, and it was like, this sucks. Doing 50 where it's like, all right, I'm done with this one. No, I can't just hit back and go back. I have to start a whole new ticket and completely start over. No, it doesn't auto load or auto fill any of my information because I just did this 2 minutes ago.
So that's when you get smart and you open 50 tabs and then you have one filled out and you just copy paste it to a Word doc and then paste
Yeah.
into each web page for the RMA.
Yeah.
So you get to the product number.
And then they have an issue where their serial numbers matched up. This took me a little bit on Seagate's website. Their serial numbers matched and the item description matched, but the product number didn't match. So I went down a weird Reddit thread where a bunch of people were complaining about it, and it's a known issue with Seagate because they have different product numbers for their Taiwan plant than they do for their American distribution, and they don't match.
That's so stupid.
Yeah, but like, I kind of get it. You gotta build things a certain way for American distribution, so it's a different item. But also, yeah, it sucks. But yeah, so hopefully I gotta mail these out this week, and then hopefully we'll get another 12 terabytes of Go juice to put in this thing, and then all 8 bays are filled. I gotta buy a SATA expansion, but that's like $30 on Amazon.
And you got a
Dang.
fourth card. You got a fourth drive coming too, right?
I have 5 through 8 sitting next to me.
Nice.
Yeah. It's like, hold on. This is
Thank God.
just what is on the floor next to me.
Nice.
That's so funny.
Well, thank God you only tried to spin up 3.
It was just the one cable. That's what, because I was like, I had enough to do the other 5 drives, in power cables, and I was like, oh, I'll just grab one out of my bin of bullshit cables. Plugged it in, and that's what cooked them.
Boo.
Yeah. And then I went down a weird rabbit hole of fucking power supplies and pinouts, and also their pinout is not easy to find. You'd think they'd make it easier to find.
Dude, a lot of that stuff is surprisingly kind of hard to come across.
Yeah, I don't know, it's weird. This case is sick though. What is it? Let's
Yeah,
shout
I
it
do-
out so the listeners can follow along. The C8
So,
curve wood.
Thank you for going on your rant about the case that you have, because I did not know about this company Antic until
Oh,
until just
That's a pretty case.
dude,
I think I've
Antec makes
seen this
good
one.
shit. I love Antec cases. I love all their stuff. They have not done me wrong in 20 years of building PCs.
this might be my next case. It's also not badly priced for what it is.
No, they're not badly priced. I know I didn't spend. What do they have this case on Amazon for? Oh, they don't, because it's no longer available. I think I spent $83 on that case. Like, and
Yeah,
it was
the wood-
it was next day shipping. It wasn't bad at all.
How does it look for cooling?
It came with 340 millimeter fans in the front and one in the back. It came with them, and they're wired up, which I'm not a huge fan of this, but I get it because it's clearly designed to be a big ass NAS. They're Molex, and they're not like the fans aren't Molex, but to get them to run with the speed controller, because it's got a switch on the front where you can control fan speed. To get them to run with it, you have to convert it to Molex. It came with everything, and it was all pre-wired and all that stuff. But I was just like, the fuck? Who uses Molex?
Yeah, that's wild. That's ancient
Yeah.
technology.
And then I had to dig out a Molex power cable, with which I immediately checked the pinouts for.
Bet.
Yeah. To Corsair's credit, though, their replacement cables are like $3 on their website.
not bad.
Yeah. So it cost me $12 to replace all three, just in case one of them was a different, because I don't fucking label my cables, just in case one of them was a different fucking pinout.
Because you shouldn't fucking have to.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I do for important shit like PCI power, PCI Express power, or motherboard power, or processor power, because that has always been the Wild West when it comes to power sources. But the standard for SATA power has been the same since 1997. I know because I wrote it in the email.
My man did all this research just to complain.
Dude, I was
Dedication.
so it ruined my day. I didn't tell Scorch about it until like 3 days afterwards, because I was so mad.
Dude, you literally looked at me. I don't know when you told me, but you looked at me like I had to be like same day, dead in the eyes, be like, so I just burned $300.
Yeah, that was after I'd written the email. You and the significant other were the first ones to hear about it, and then about 10 minutes later, I texted Scorch because I thought he'd get a kick out of it. They make Razer cases.
Yeah, I knew that. I used to have one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think I remember this one.
Right.
I'm looking through the old backlog, seeing if there's anything good.
Actually, technically, I currently have one.
You've been
Really?
holding out on me, man.
Yeah, my Lian Li is a Razer edition.
Oh, yeah, I knew that.
Now, it's not like Razer's version of the case. It's just the Razer edition case. But it's got all the pretty lights and shit on it.
You know what I want back?
What's that?
UV lights and PC stuff. I miss the glow of purple emanating from my case as it gave me skin cancer.
So can you not still do that on your own?
It's hard to find the parts. UV reactive, like you could paint the parts, but UV reactive PC components haven't been a thing in a long time.
Mm.
They also run hot.
I don't care about that. I'm fucking.
UV runs hot as hell.
I have a 7800 X3D and a 4070 Ti. It is a heater kicking out the top of this case. But yeah, they make good shit. Shout out to to Antec. They don't even make the case I bought anymore.
Oh,
Yeah, the case I just shared with you guys that I want is a brand new case that they just came out with not too long ago, and it's sold out everywhere.
Yeah, I bet. They do small batch runs. So you'll see it like pop up and then it'll go away after a few weeks and then pop up again.
Yeah, I just saved it to my Amazon list, and I went on Antec, went on their like notify me page.
Yeah. Yeah. They're definitely small batch. But they're cool. All right. We talked a little bit about Skull and Bones. Do you guys want to beat up on Ubisoft for a little bit?
Well, before we jump on Ubisoft, or actually no, let's do that, and then we'll end on some lighthearted, good fun news.
Yeah, because we're past an hour, so.
aren't they getting sued
Yeah, I think so. For a couple things.
for like the shit they're using in
Assassin's-
games that they're not allowed to?
Yeah. So Assassin's Creed Shadows pushed back again, by the way, because apparently they released it on like the anniversary of something.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
that was their
The
next release
bombing.
date.
the
Huh?
the anniversary of the worst domestic terrorism in Japanese history.
Yep.
Are you guys talking about Hiroshima?
No.
I was like, that wasn't domestic terrorism. They deserve
No.
that.
I misspoke when I mentioned the bombing.
Okay.
Pirate nailed it on the head. Yeah, it was a domestic terrorist attack that was held by a cult in Japan.
You're talking about the arson subway bombings.
Yes.
Yeah. I wrote a report on that in the one psychology class
Oh,
I
yeah,
took.
they were planning on releasing it on the anniversary of that.
Yeah. So on top of that, they are apparently getting sued for using national landmarks that are not meant to be used outside of like given permissions or licensing.
Yeah, there's laws
they
in
don't
place
do.
saying you cannot use them, you cannot like reproduce them
Yep.
without permission.
Yep.
Yeah, Ubisoft fucking up a lot right now.
So apparently they threw a bunch of those assets in the game and used them all over the freaking place.
Yep.
I mean,
I-
Jesus.
I didn't know about any of that. I was going to bring up the physical and emotional abuse allegations.
Oh,
Oh.
all right. So news to me. Go for it, bro.
Okay.
Historical abuse.
So Ubisoft Indonesia is currently being sued, and multiple people have been arrested because they took one of their programmers because she was a woman. And let me get this quote. One such claim is that they were forced to slap themselves 100 times as punishment for some perceived failure at work. In another instance, we see a video of the employee visibly dazed and being interrogated after she was reportedly forced to slam her own head into a door frame. Yeah. It's
Where was
Bro.
this?
this is
Ubisoft
Ubisoft Indonesia.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
That is worse bullying than Blizzard 5 years ago.
Right?
Like Blizzard was apparently a frat house. This just sounds like a freaking torture office. Like, sorry, I'm just thinking of the fucking meme. I'm having a real hard time getting out of this escape room. You're at work.
Exactly.
Like, what the fuck?
So if you fucked up, they just euthanize yourself?
I mean, basically.
Jesus.
Not what I would pay to have suicide booths in the public area. Raise my
Buddy.
taxes.
No.
My God.
There's too much traffic, goddammit. If it could be a self-fulfilling issue, I'm happy with it.
I think they did Kevorkian dirty.
I got to check out Kevorkian's minivan. That was kind of cool. Like dark, but it was kind of cool to be able to like look at it and check it out.
Random as fuck.
Was it his like mobile euthanizing service van?
That's exactly what it was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I saw it at a freak show like 5-6 years ago. But yeah,
Mobile euthanasia will come to you.
that's what he would do, man.
That's
Assisted
what he got
sewer
arrested
slide.
for. Assisted suicide.
But yeah, Ubisoft is in deep. I don't
I don't think we're gonna get Shadows, bro.
want to play it. I don't
I do
care.
too.
I don't care about all the racist stuff that everyone's saying. Like, in my mind, the complaints about the game are making me want to play the game more, because very similar complaints happened with the fucking kid with the scar on his forehead, Hogwarts Legacy. Very similar issues with Hogwarts Legacy happened, and that game was the tits. That was a good fucking game.
Sorry, the kid with the scar on his head was stuck there.
Kain
I don't know. I
has
can't
ways
read.
of describing things.
I was
Dude
like, all right.
described Blade Runner.
Don't be mad because I'm right.
It hurt. He described it, and you can correct me if I got it wrong. Han Solo in Night City.
Han Solo in Cyberpunk.
Han Solo
In
and Cyberpunk.
Cyberpunk.
Because I'm old enough to know that Cyberpunk existed before Night City.
Oh,
I
yeah.
just,
It's
I
just
just
a
want
new
that to
age.
set. But if we're like, he just described Harry Potter as kid with scar, a whole lot closer than him describing whatever that was.
Yeah, but we figured out Blade Runner pretty quick. I might have been stuck on Hogwarts Legacy for a while.
No.
Kid with scar on his head.
I'm not that big of a Harry Potter fan to begin with, so
My dumbass went to fucking anime. Like I was thinking
I-
of Zorro or some
I-
shit like that.
I was thinking
Y'all
Demon
instantly,
Hunter
didn't
or
go to Harry
Demon
Potter.
Slayer.
No, I didn't go to Harry
I
Potter.
went to Demon Slayer.
Okay, I can see Demon Slayer. I'll agree with that one.
Oh, I understand. I was way off.
Where did you go? Wait, where did you go when you heard Kid with Scar?
I jumped into anime. The first thing that popped in my mind was One Piece.
Also fair.
Also fair, but didn't get the scar till way later. So touche.
He's got a
But
scar on his
still.
face in episode 1.
It's just a line with tiny
Yeah.
lines.
I'm thinking of like the big scar.
I don't know. I haven't watched that much One
Spoilers
Piece.
to people that haven't seen it.
I
guess,
just
don't know.
I just passed the Wano arc.
I've
Oh,
s-
I'm
Oh, we're
so
not jumping into this
Yeah.
conversation.
No.
This
We're
is
not doing
no-
that here.
No
This is a
spoilers.
whole episode that I'm not going
Hi.
to attend.
Hi, welcome to the One Piece Hour.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
I'm on
See you
episode
guys later.
1100.
All right, I'm going to participate in that conversation and play video games.
I'm participating.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay,
Scorch
back
has
to
done it
whatever we were
at
talking
least
about.
once.
Oh no, we're on a
Okay,
new
so that-
subject.
That
We've
was on the release of Once Human.
Yeah,
Don't
we've-
blame me for that. We were all fucking playing it.
we've decided that Ubisoft is burning down,
It's
and
definitely-
we're never going to see Assassin's Creed Shadows, which could be a good thing, could be a bad thing.
It's
I
not
mean,
even burning down, it's imploding on itself.
It is imploding. We might see the games though, because weren't they due to get bought out? Like, wasn't somebody looking to?
I think Sony was actually trying to buy them.
They were. Yeah, Sony was going to pick them up.
I mean,
Which means I'll never see Assassin's Creed Shadows, because they're going to make it a PS5 exclusive, and I refuse to buy one.
oh, absolutely, they're absolutely
No,
going
and
to
then
make a PS5
that just means
exclusive.
we wait the 8 months.
I mean,
It'll be 18
although
months, depending on the game.
the new Final Fantasy is coming out in a couple days, and that was
Yeah.
not a long spread between it coming out on PS5 and it now coming out
And
on
also,
PC. I'm about to buy that.
We had a war with exclusivities between consoles. Exclusivities are also dwindling. They're going away.
Well, yeah. So
It's
you
more
know,
profitable to let them be open market.
yeah. So Rebirth, the reason it's coming out on PC so quick is because it didn't do good in the market on exclusive PS5.
It's because the
just
people who
didn't.
love PS5s never played Final Fantasy like we played.
I mean, that's
Like, it's
true
a
and
new
not true.
generation of gamer, and the old JRPG style games are just falling out of favor. At least for the profit levels they want with games they put that much work into.
Yeah, but at the same time, like, how many people we know who actually own the PS5? I know one.
I know
I know
a few.
people.
I know a few, but I know a lot of gamers these days.
Actually, no, I lied.
where
I know
live.
two. I know two. My cousin and my buddy, both are the only two people who I know actually own PS5s. So it's just like,
Most of those of us who played were like at the age to play Final Fantasy when it was out, or 7 when it was out. have PCs now.
Yeah, because we got smart. We ditched the console war.
Now we're back to graphics card wars.
Yes.
Full circle. Well, Doyle
Yeah, but I mean-
rules.
But I mean, like you got to remember the idea behind consoles
War
to
is
make
profit.
gaming available in your home, right? And then like now it's about having the best gaming in your home, and it's basically just having a PC. But now you're putting exclusive content on that. I'm not going to pay $800 for that. I'd rather buy another graphics card. You know
You're
what
not
I mean?
wrong.
Like,
Not
Mine-
wrong.
dude, I have a PS4 sitting over there. You know what it does? It plays my DVDs.
Hey, that's what my Xbox Series X does. It plays
That is
them real well.
literally- That is what
That
my
is what-
PS4 does now.
Same. That is all my PS4 does. Like Kain gifted us a really dope ass fucking present for Christmas and handed it to my SO. She was really excited to receive it. We
Sorry.
get to the house, sit in the living room, and she goes, "How the fuck are we gonna watch this?" Because he bought us a Blu-ray. And I was like, I literally sat there for a good 30 seconds. I was like, I don't know how the fuck we're gonna watch this. Like, I don't have anything to use. And I was like, wait a minute. I have a dusted system downstairs.
Yeah. Yeah. I gave that movie to a lot of people that didn't have Blu-ray players. And when they were like, we don't know how we're gonna watch this. That sounds like a you problem.
Go to the library. They have Blu-ray players.
Right?
You know when they're like this big.
That would be a wild movie to watch in the library.
Dude, that would be such a fun afternoon. Like all of us just show up with our own popcorn and just
What
borrow a
movie did
DVD
you play,
player.
everybody?
I'll bring it with me if I remember. If not, I have a digital copy we could watch. It's called Onyx the Fortuitous and the Talisman of Souls. You would
I've seen that one.
you
We
would
talked
love
about
it.
that on the podcast.
Yeah, it's so good.
Early on. It is
Yeah,
wonderful.
I think you can rent it on Amazon.
I think I bought it
I think it's free
for
on
like
Peacock.
$3.
I don't have Xfinity anymore, so I lost my Peacock account.
I don't have it either. But you can do Peacock through web.
And I'm not going to sit at my computer to watch Peacock.
They got an app for it for your TV.
Oh, they do, but you have to pay for it.
Oh, where to watch? Prime. It's on Prime.
Back to where I started. Thanks for the
And-
journey.
And it is included with Prime, so it's not like you have to rent it or anything.
Everyone
You
should
know,
go
we-
out and watch it.
Because, we all give money to Daddy Bezos.
We sure as fuck do.
I mean, I can get a 9800 X3D delivered to my house on the 27th through Bezos.
You really can. You gonna?
I'm thinking about it. But I'm also thinking about giving one of you $1,000 to grab me a 5080.
You got
Dude,
3 days. I'm in Denver tomorrow.
God damn
I
it.
got they spammed me with text messages and emails letting me know that on the 30th I can walk in and buy one.
Yeah.
I might give one of you the money to grab me one.
It is
Word.
only $200 to rent out an AMC theater and play whatever Blu-ray you want.
That's not bad.
What? Only $200?
$200 private theater.
nice.
All right, we need to keep that in our back pocket.
Is it more expensive for like the IMAX version or whatever?
We would have to buy an IMAX Blu-ray,
Ah,
and I doubt Onyx the Fortuitous made an IMAX version. I'm pretty sure he filmed that on a fucking iPhone.
hey, you don't know. We got the special editions.
Yeah.
Well, we are starting to slow down a little bit, so let's end on some fun news. Kain mentioned earlier, kid with scar on his face. The Hogwarts Legacy video game is coming out with a new DLC. Pretty much, I believe it's going to be titled the Definitive Edition, and it's going to have, from what I've been able to find, about 10 to 15 hours of new story content, new characters, dragons, and all kinds of fun new additions on top of graphic updates for all the software that's going to be accompanying all the new hardware. Downside, it looks like it's going to be about $30 for the DLC.
Worth it. That game was so much fun.
That game was a lot of fucking fun. I enjoyed the fucking hell out of that one.
I still need to go back and play through his other houses.
Yeah, I need to do that too. I really only want to do the one that goes to the prison.
So you want to go Huffle?
Yeah, because I did a Ravenclaw run with Shelbo Baggins, and sorry, my Harry Potter character was a really good representation of a friend we know.
I accidentally made pirate in mine.
Nice. But yeah, I'll probably start it over before I do the expansion, just so I can get like caught back up to the story, because the story's only 30 hours. It's not that long.
Yeah, the story was not super long, but it was very enjoyable. It had a really good flow to it.
And a good exploration to it without being too much.
Oh, I don't know. Did you try and do all the Merlin challenges?
No.
No, yeah, some of those were hard.
Some of those
Not even-
fucking
Sucked.
Not even that. They are numerous. So the
Yeah,
Merlin
there's a
challenges,
lot
there's
of
like
them.
there's like over 100 or something, or close to 1,000, something stupid.
Yeah,
I
that's
forget
definitely
which.
one game I am not going to 100%.
I'm not a completionist with my games. I got lucky with Ghost of Tsushima. I just happened to do it because I had enjoyed that game that much.
Yeah, the only titles that I've really tried to 100% are the Borderlands titles.
Nice.
All right, our illustrious robot is getting grumpy.
No,
should
you just
call
tell me
it.
to message you at specific timestamps. We could keep going.
Uh-huh.
This is a y'all
Well,
pod.
we ended on some good news, something to look forward to. So let's cap it here, boys.
All right,
Hey,
guys.
gentlemen.
Sounds good.
If you need to reach out. You're your best hero. All that happy stuff. Don't rent a Cybertruck to blow yourself up. It's been done. Pick something else. And yeah, count us out.
If you
One.
want to contact us at all for sponsorships, adverts, whatever you want to call it, it's TheDepthsofJigoku@gmail.com. If you want to find us on social media, it's all The Depths of Jigoku. That's Twitter or X, whatever people want to call it. YouTube, Spotify, Instagram, Twitch. We'll stream eventually. We just have to find a game we all want to play and all have the time to play.
Oh, we have the title.
I bought it last week.
What did you buy last week?
Chained together.
Yeah.
Chained together.
Is that a 5-player game? I thought that's a 4-player game.
It's a 4-player game, so one of us
Well-
will just have to be in the corner.
You can be somebody needs to be commentary.
It's your turn in the barrel, Beans.
All right. Well,
gonna-
either
we're gonna
way,
cook
we'll stream
beans.
eventually.
Hey, hang on. We do also. You guys haven't bought it yet. I did, but Lockdown Protocol. I think that's more than 4 players.
Yeah, that's more than
Oh,
4
yeah.
players. But either way, y'all have a good night. Again, whatever Kane's advice was, it is what it is. Reach out if you need to.
The world sucks. Talk to someone.
Yeah. Y'all have a good morning, afternoon, day, night.
Hasta la nacho.
Peace out, guys.
Avoid drones in New Jersey.
seconds, everything looking good. We show altitude about 47,000 feet. Houston, I'm getting a little fluctuation in the AC voltage now. Roger. 50 meter maybe, huh? Stand by. Looking good. You're still looking good. It's coming up 3 minutes.